Okay, today I'm going to present and pitch my formal report. It is based around Maine Today Media and a new website to kind of bring all publications, all articles, all editors, all writers together into one place. Right now, for example, the Sun Journal in Lewiston, Maine uses 3 different websites in order to put out one article. They use Google Docs, they use WordPress, and their own website called Celsius. We will get into all of those, but I want to give a little rundown of my report goal here. So today, the Maine Today Media bought the Sun Journal of Lewiston, Maine a couple months ago and now owns over a dozen different daily, weekly, and monthly publications. The Sun Journal uses 3 different websites to operate their newspaper, which is not as efficient as the newspaper could be. Obviously, 3 websites is more convoluted and a little bit confusing, more than just one website that has all of the information you need. With a dozen different publications, including the Portland Press Herald and Sun Journal, all communicating after this recent buy by Maine Today Media, there needs to be a website where you can do all aspects of editing, writing, publishing, and more to become more efficient. That's why I want to create mainetoday.com. Alright, so the current system at the Sun Journal, we write the article on a word processor, so Google Docs, Microsoft Word, Pages, whatever you have on your computer, you can write it, obviously. And then we copy it onto the Sun Journal's website called Celsius. Celsius is used to keep all of the articles in one place. The site has all the articles separated into sections, so sports, business, city, etc. And then there's subsections in a lot of the categories, such as sports. We have local sports, a section called Varsity Maine, which is your high school sports. We have sections about Bates College and University of Maine Farmington. And so on Celsius, you can edit your articles to a point on the site. They have some editing software, but you can't do the final edits on Celsius. And then when you edit on Celsius, there's turnover that some words don't switch over to the publication correctly, so you can edit to a point. You can search articles on Celsius by category, writer, tags. It's really useful in that way because you can find out who did what and when and where their article is. Limitations include final editing. There's an excess of articles. Old articles still stay on the site, which kind of convolutes everything. And then it turns into junk, and you have to wade through all of the useless junk. On the presentation, I have a screenshot of the Celsius homepage. It shows you the status of all the articles, if they're in the works, approved by the editors, if it's edited, and so on. You can search by inch count, who did it, the publication date, the title, whatever you need to search by. I want to bring a lot of those uses over to my new website. Alright, so the second website, kind of mentioned it earlier, Google Docs, and by extension, Google Mail, Gmail. We schedule the writers and what they will be covering in what is called budgets. There are helpful notes for writers, such as phone numbers, examples, whatever you would need for each section. Each editor has their own notes in it. You can message each other to an extent. It's not a very high-tech messaging system, but you can still send little messages to your editor or other writers. And you can send in articles from away from your computer. So you just, if you're writing it, or you edit something on your phone, you share it with your editor and they'll get it directly. I kind of mentioned it for a second, but the budgets on Google Docs are documents where you have the schedule of what is going to be published, when it's going to be published, where. The writers and editors kind of work together to put that together, and the editors have the final say as to where everything is going to be going. And there's a picture on my presentation of what that looks like. Alright, and then the third website is WordPress. The Sun Journal has switched their website over to a WordPress-based site, and so you do your final editing there. That's usually for the editors of each section to do, and then you can publish straight from there. This is the third website to do something publishing, and that could all be put into one website, which is what I am presenting here, maintoday.com. Maintoday.com. First, I'm going to look at a couple different aspects of what I envision maintoday.com being, and this is all in my memo. But the first is editing. Maintoday.com will hold all of the documents on its website and will have the ability to edit and publish. No more will you need to use 3 different websites. Now, obviously, the pros of this, all in one place, much more efficient. You will be able to do editing, final editing, be able to share it with your editors just like Google Docs, but you'll be able to do every piece of editing and writing in this one section. The cons. Because you can do final editing, writing, messaging to share with your editors and whatnot, there's going to be a lot of parts of the website, and so that could be confusing at first to try to navigate the website. But our hopes at maintoday.com is to make it as stress-free and streamlined and efficient as possible, so that all writers and editors will be on the same page. Alright, the next section I'm going to look at is cost, and really all you have to look at is website cost, which ranges. We haven't nailed down a number for how much the domain maintoday.com will cost. That would be spread across all publications on an aggregate system, so Portland Press and the Sun Journal would pay more because they are bigger publications. The storage is something we can nail down right now. If you use megaupload.com, which is what I want to use for maintoday.com, the cost is 4 terabytes for $239 a year. Now, if you use Google Docs, you get 150 gigs free, and it takes a long time for that to fill up. Now, 4 terabytes over 12 different publications, daily, monthly, weekly, that should be more than enough to fill. Again, spread the cost over an aggregate system to who uses what the most, and we should be fine there. Pros, cheap, a lot of space for all publications. It shouldn't be a problem, and that is a cheap cost for newspapers that already are on a tight budget. Cons, cloud storages usually can be slow. Now, Google Docs doesn't have any problems, and Mega Upload is, I would say, right up to that level now as they've grown and become better and more efficient, so I don't know that will be too much of a problem. The last section I'm going to talk about is messaging on maintoday.com. A messaging system will let all of the editors of all publications communicate with each other so that they know which articles need to be shared and which will be published. If you need to send your editor a message, or your editor needs to send you a message on a question he has while he's reading your story, that will be easy to do. All the articles will be tagged for who wrote it from where, and editors will have messaging lines to each other for putting together a nightly newspaper, or if an editor from the Portland Press Herald wants to take an article from the Sun Journal, they can message the editor-in-chief directly. All of this will make everything much more efficient. The pros, better flow, maximum efficiency, tags to help keep the editors on track of all the articles. The cons might miss messages, but Everything is tagged, everything is shown where that can go, and the budgets will help bring everything together at the end of the night when you need to put out a newspaper. So in conclusion, the maintoday.com website will help all writers and editors keep track of all of their articles and sections they are responsible for. This will maximize efficiency, both in communication and publication. So I hope you have looked at my presentation, watched this video, and realized that this is a good idea with multiple aspects of productiveness and efficiency, and I hope that we can work together soon to put this together. I'm Adam Robinson. Thank you for listening.